So what I got, guys, I got this the KMember. I got it all cleaned up, acid washed it. I got etch primer, and now I'm putting some black. It's made by Raptor. It's a roll cage and chassis paint. This stuff has gotten really expensive over what I used to. It's like $21 for an aerosol can. It's pretty wild. But yeah, I'm getting it sprayed, and whenever I fit this piece up, if it'll focus, whenever I fit this piece up, I'll only grind off around the area that I'm going to be welding. So, you know, none of this other, you can weld these other pieces, but you don't have to, because obviously it bolts through the rear piece there, and that's the only other area that it'll be welded. I may do a couple of gussets here and there from the existing frame and everything, but yeah, it's definitely coming out really clean and nice. So yep, we're gonna get that thing and let it sit and dry, and then we can get back to work. All right, so I got it all completely painted. Everything's painted on it, it's dried, and we will be getting this all ready to go back here. Got all these straightened, put level and all on it. I've got to weld basically a cross member or a cross bar across the top of this, so I can start cutting all this stuff right here out. Once I get that all cut out, then I can get everything fitted up in there, put some bolts through the back of the KMember, get my plates, which I have some 6x6 plates here. Those will actually go right up against this framing piece here. We will weld those on after we get the holes for the center of it. I'd love to be able to just kind of stick it there and there, because that's perfectly rounded on that, but I'm not sure 100% I can get the I don't want to cut a hole in this hole saw the same size as that pipe, so I can slide the KMember through this and then get it up here and it be like that or something, you know, because I don't really want to waste materials. So I'm probably just going to make sure that I just center the piece off of there, then I can get it marked on the back, and then I can come back and, you know, cut what I need to cut off before I weld this plate to that and weld the plate to the KMember, because you're going to weld it solid all the way around the KMember there, and then weld it solid all the way around the back of the plate. So we're getting a pretty good bit of work done, knocked out on this thing. I'm going to try to also get up in here and get all old brake lines and stuff like that I had made a while back. Going to get all that stuff out of there, and then come in and clean all this stuff up, and then cut my two bars that are coming out of the front. I'm going to cut those here, cut them out, getting them out of the way completely. And after we finish the KMember, and everything, then we can start worrying about the placement on these bars here, where we're going to go with it, because, you know, I had to cut these off because they went to the front of the frame horns right here, and I had to cut them off to get that part of it off, doing the KMember and everything. So we're gonna get a piece, probably go ahead and cut these off first, and I've got the grind. I need to grind all around this right here to get it brought back, you know, about this far, just so I have a good welding seam up against it. And I got to bevel it a little bit so I can kind of get some good penetration down into the 6x6 plate. And I got to knock off this little bit here, so It's got this little gusset from the old motor plate, so I need to cut that off. So we're gonna get that done, and then I'm gonna get my crossbar welded across the top of here. Go ahead and get it welded on the top of that, and then we can get to going. So safety first. The levels up on it, I've got my big thick 2 by something another. It's very straight piece, so I've got the level set up top on my kick-out bars for my front, you know, even though that don't really matter, but still I kind of, like I say, those are level, and I've got the frame level. So I'm fixing to start cutting all this center piece out, and I'm going to get ready to start mounting my other piece. So we're finna rock and roll on this thing.
Sun up, lights on, sparks start to fly. Welding boots on, got the grit in my eyes. Steel frames bending to the beat of my hand. Building up a dream out of sweat in the sand. It's steel, sweat, and family, that's what we're living for. Engines roaring on Friday nights, can't ask for nothing more. From the fab shop to the grandstand.
So I got one side chopped off, and try to cut it as close as you can to the frame with the saw. You know, that's as close as I can really get it to be as straight as I can actually get it anyways, without actually hitting the inner frame. But once we get all this knocked off, every bit of this will get cleaned up and completely out of the way. Once that gets out of the way, we will clean all this up, clean the inner frame piece up. I'm probably going to weld this. There's going to be a little hole for where you can get to the top of the motor mount originally, because I'm putting the actual motor plate in here, but I will take and weld a piece in here to flatten this out and put strength in this inner piece. I mean, it's got a ton of strength in it, don't get me wrong, once I weld all that stuff up, but it still has, you know, a few tiny little bitty holes in it. But I will take and probably weld a patch on this one. This one here, it's already kind of welded in, so I'm not gonna, you know, fool with this. This one's kind of pretty much already knocked down. I'm gonna do a lot of cleaning up once I cut it a lot closer to the internal frame piece. But I'm only gonna cut right along here and up on here, because this piece is actually the piece on the, I don't know if you can see that good, but it's already that piece on the interior side. It's a little bit different from this one. So yeah, we're gonna keep on knocking away at this thing, so, and get this other side chopped off, and we'll be back in business, and then we can start test fitting our KMember and continue on with this project. Y'all, that's a ton of work, and I've only got one side somewhat done. I got everything and smoothed off. What I done was I took that piece, instead of cutting a piece off, I cut it, slid it, and actually bent it over to where I wouldn't have to make that full piece to go in there. And I'm just going to weld around this piece here, but got it pretty much all smoothed out. And you can kind of see what the other side somewhat, because this has already been chopped and cut and most of the thing. I'll show y'all what a factory one looks like. So this is a factory style whole horn, and then this, and that's what it looks like before you cut all this stuff right here out. Like I say, I got one side cut, got a lot of it trimmed off, and I got enough to weld straight around here, all the way around here, and it caps that whole circle thing I showed y'all earlier. And yeah, it's actually coming along pretty nicely. We got everything still kind of set up, and now I've got to move on to that one there. And holy moly, take some time, but we're slowly getting somewhere on this thing. So, and that's a ton of crap right there. I'm going to clean all that stuff up before I jump on the other one. Just try to pick up some stuff. I ain't gonna kneel down or jab my knee on something. So I just want to make sure that I get all that stuff done, and we're gonna weld that baby smooth on this side, weld that all in, get all the other little pieces that I need to weld in, and that takes care of the passenger side. So whew. Got the passenger side all cut, about smoothed all the way off. Then I got to weld up around my little pieces. After you cut this thing off, you got little gaps up that actually holds the upper piece. So I got to smooth all that off whenever I finish up here and weld along here, weld up that area there. But yeah, I got it all smoothed off, cleaned up. Now I'm gonna start on the driver's side. It's hot, guys. It is hot, hot, humid today. We got all that. It looks ugly now because I haven't smoothed everything off, but got it all cut out. And what I end up doing, like I say, I kept this top piece right here to cover up this hole up under here. This piece here, I'm gonna have to actually cut a piece out and weld it in, but these two pieces here are still attached. Just heat them up and bend them over and then shape them to what, you know, the spot that you need. And it saves a little bit of work, but it also helps put like a somewhat of a gusset, I guess you should say. But yeah, you can kind of see the hole back there, and then I'll shape this the same size as this and then push it into the piece right here. Heat it up all on the top, heat it up real good, and then push it down into it and then shape your shape there. So yeah, we're slowly getting this thing knocked out, and there's just a ton of stuff that you just got to grind all the factory welds and everything off. So yeah, whew.
Good vibes, fat metal, and racing song. 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 Good vibes, fat metal.
All right, I got a mess, pure mess right here, but got it all smoothed, cleaned off. That piece you can't even tell there was a big old hole right there. Got it all clean. Same thing on this side. I got a little bit more I need to kind of do, but I still have to weld this little kind of piece in right here too. And I've got it right here, and we're gonna trim it up to go inside that piece right there. I still got to do some more trimming. I ain't done yet, so yeah. I got to smooth off this weld here, smooth it up, and clean everything up, then get ready to set the KMember on it. So yeah, y'all might not realize this, but that is a time-consuming job, sitting there cutting and grinding, smoothing off, you know, tack welding your pieces up, or not really tack welding, actually welding them, and trying to smooth all that gnats in my trying to go in my mouth, but trying to sit there and just do a really good clean job, and it takes a pretty good while to sit there with the grinder and everything else, trying to smooth it all off, and then taking time to weld it, let it cool. There's a lot that goes into it, that's for sure. So we're making good progress on it. So gonna keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it. Well, we got her leveled up, and we are fixing to get ready to tack this thing in finally. Man, that was a ton of work, but I did get it all smoothed out. I got some more finalizing to do, but for the most part, I got it pretty slick. Got all those old things cut off. And guys, that was a job. So here we are fixing to get our KMember leveled up, get it bolted up in the rear, get it leveled up in the front, so we can throw some tacks on there, tack welds, and then we'll make sure, and then we're going to clean up around the tube, and then we're going to burn her in. Almost there. This is one thing will be off the list. There's a million other things on the list now.
Sun up, lights on, sparks start to fly. Welding boots on, got the grit in my eyes. Steel frames bending to the beat of my hand. Building up a dream out of sweat in the sand. It's steel, sweat, and family. That's what we're living for. Engines roaring on Friday nights. Can't ask for nothing more. From the fab shop to the grandstands, we make it with our own two hands. Steel, sweat, and family. That's the song of this land. Grease on my shirt and my hands are warm, but there's pride in the work where the race cars are born. Kids in the shop laughing just like me, keeping roots deep in the spirit free. It's steel, sweat, and family. That's what we're living for. Engines roaring on Friday nights. Can't ask for nothing more. From the fab shop to the grandstands, we make it with our own two hands. Steel.
Well, got her all tigged up. Only thing I got left to TIG is these pieces here that the bottom control arms go to. I got to TIG around that on the front and the back, and but it's on there. It's solid, looking good. All right, we got this thing. We got it tigged up. Got to trim my plates here. The only other thing I got to do is TIG these brackets here to the lower control arms in the rear. You can bolt them or you can TIG weld them. I'm just going to go ahead and TIG weld them up because I've done TIG welded the front. But everything's level. We got all that stuff done, situated. I'm going pretty much just stop here. I pretty much spent my whole weekend trying to get this done, and we got this part of it knocked out. Like I say, I got a little bit left to do to finalize the KMember itself. Then I can start bolting on the suspension. Once I get that done, then we'll be able to sit it down on all four, or at least sit it on the crates, but my wheel crates that I got. And you can build those to the table or anything else, but you can build them out of 1x3s. They work flawless and they'll be around forever as long as you don't sit them outside and leave them out there forever. But yeah, we're rolling along on this thing. Like I say, she's coming together. Looks really good on there too. So, which, I mean, y'all can't really see it that great right there, but yeah, looks awesome. So I'll end this one here, but I promise y'all I'm going to work on this thing an hour a day whenever I get time after work. Pretty much as long as I can. I'm going to get this thing knocked out. I'm ready to get the motors put down in this thing, start mocking a bunch of my stuff up. We're going to get this thing rolling. So I appreciate y'all coming back, watching. If y'all watched it all the way through, I really appreciate y'all. If y'all would like, share, and subscribe, comment, leave me a comment, and let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna get ripping on this thing though, and we'll see y'all on the next one.